I want to start with a statistic that stopped me in my tracks. Researchers studying social media use in 2026 found that people who spend more than 2 hours a day scrolling, which let's be honest is most of us, show a 35% decline in activity in the prefrontal cortex. Now that's the part of your brain responsible for rational decision making, impulse control and long-term planning. The things that coincidentally are exactly what you need to build a meaningful, intentional life. And within minutes of opening Instagram or TikTok, brain activity patterns begin to mirror those seen in gambling addicts. I'm not here to be preachy about this because I have a phone too, and I've caught myself mindlessly scrolling when I should have been sleeping or creating or connecting. This isn't about shame, this is about awareness. Real honest awareness, because you cannot change what you refuse to see. Brain rot is now a recognised cultural term, generating over 200,000 monthly searches. And what began as an internet joke has quietly become one of the most pressing conversations in psychology, neuroscience and coaching right now. Today, I want to have that conversation with you. Not to scare you, but to tell you the truth and to give you something genuinely useful to do about it. Here's what I notice most in the clients I work with. And it's something I suspect you might recognise in yourself. There's a particular kind of tiredness that isn't fixed by sleep. You wake up after 8 hours and still feel foggy, scattered, unable to focus on the one thing that actually matters before you're already reaching for your phone. You sit down to do meaningful work and within minutes your attention drifts. You find yourself mid-sentence in a conversation suddenly aware that you weren't really there. That's not laziness, that's not a character flaw. That's a brain that has been systematically trained to seek rapid, shallow stimulation and is struggling to settle into anything that requires depth or patience. And here's how it happens. Every notification, every scroll, every like and reply triggers a small release of dopamine, your brain's reward chemical. But here's the thing about dopamine. It's not released at the reward itself, it's released in anticipation of the reward. The moment before you check your phone, the micro hit of what if something good is there? And because that anticipation is almost constant, because the next scroll could always contain something more interesting than the current one, your brain starts to rewire itself around that loop. Over time, anything that doesn't offer rapid stimulation, a book, a conversation, a long piece of thinking, starts to feel boring, uncomfortable, almost unbearable. 5 to 10% of Americans now meet the clinical criteria for social media addiction. And the youngest generations who grew up with this technology in their hands are hit hardest. You're not broken, but you may have unknowingly handed over the remote control to your own brain. Here's what I want to offer you, a different way of looking at this, because I think the conversation around brain rot often goes wrong. It tends to become about screens being bad, about smartphones being evil, and about social media as the villain. And while I understand the impulse, that framing isn't actually that useful, because it makes you a passive victim of technology rather than the empowered person who can make different choices. The real issue isn't that you use your phone, it's that the relationship has become unconscious. You're not choosing to scroll, you're being triggered into it. You're not selecting content, the algorithm is selecting you. And that distinction between conscious use and compulsive use is where your power lives. Awareness is always the first step in coaching, and this is yours. Your phone is not neutral. It was designed by some of the smartest engineers in the world to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible. Knowing that changes the game, because now you get to decide consciously what the relationship looks like. Here are 4 steps I'd encourage you to explore. Not all at once, but one at a time, because the sustainable change is built in layers. Step 1, audit your actual usage. Most people dramatically underestimate how much time they spend on their phones. So start here, not with shame, but with curiosity. Check your screen time settings right now and just look at the number. Then look at which apps are eating the most time. What do you notice? What surprises you? What do you feel when you see it? Just let the data speak before you do anything with it. Step 2, reintroduce friction. One of the most effective things you can do requires no willpower whatsoever. Just a small structural change. Do what I've done and move the most distracting apps off your home screen and turn off non-essential notifications. Charge your phone outside the bedroom. These aren't dramatic lifestyle overhauls. They're tiny moments of friction that interrupt the automatic reach. And in that half second of friction, your conscious brain gets a chance to ask, do I actually want to do this right now? Step 3, schedule intentional digital time. Rather than attempting total abstinence, which rarely works and often backfires, try the opposite. Designate time for social media. Give yourself 2 or 3 windows in the day where you intentionally open it, engage consciously, and then close it. Outside those windows, it stays closed. This shifts you from being reactive to being in control. And research shows that even just 2 weeks of reduced intentional phone use produces measurable improvements in attention, emotional regulation, and psychological well-being. Step 4, rebuild your capacity for depth. This is the long game and it's the most rewarding part. Start deliberately practicing things that require sustained attention. Reading a physical book for 20 minutes without checking your phone. Walking without headphones. Having a conversation where you put your device face down. Cooking a meal from scratch. These aren't just nice habits, they're neurological rehabilitation. Every time you sustain attention through the urge to reach for your phone, you are literally rebuilding the prefrontal cortex function that all that scrolling has been eroding. You are, in effect, reclaiming your brain. So here's a challenge for you. Tonight, or first thing tomorrow morning, check your screen time. Just look at it. Don't judge it, just see it. Then pick one app that you know isn't serving you and move it off your home screen. Just one. See how it feels for 48 hours. Ask yourself, what surprised me and what's the one change I'm making this week? If this gave you something to think about, hit the like button and share it with someone in your life who you think needs to hear it. We're all navigating this together, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. There's a lot more coming on this channel that I think you'll really find genuinely valuable. Until next time, I'm Dr. Rakish Rana, the Clear Coach.